What is going on, guys? Jack here and welcome to episode 84 of the Road to Glory with FC United of Manchester. Hopefully you guys are good. Since the last episode, had one league game. Obviously last episode we lost to Tottenham in the League Cup. This episode is going to be the Juventus game in the Europe, followed by the Chelsea game in the league. Two pretty big games that will probably shape our season. This is the final Champions League tie that we've got against Juve. Looking at the league, as you can see, nothing in it. A draw would probably be enough unless Galatasaray or Barcelona win 5-0 against either way. But realistically, we are at home to Juve. We drew with them away, so it's a game that I do feel like we can potentially get a result from. However, we are missing a few faces, particularly Bocao is going to be a miss in the centre. Anyway, as I said, there was just one league game to tell you guys about quickly between kind of last episode and this episode, and it was against West Ham. After our kind of poor run, it was really important that we came out and tried to get a win here against a pretty winnable game, you'd have to say, against West Ham. In the end, we did win 2-0, really good result. Dzeko did miss another penalty. He misses well too many, but luckily it didn't come back to bite us as we did win the game 2-0. Fantastic play by the guys. We dominated the game, which was really good to see, especially because if you just look at the fixtures, I mean, that's our first win in 5 games, and if it had been 6 games without a win, I would be a little bit more nervous than I currently am. But yeah, as I said, today we're going to do the Juve and Chelsea game for you guys. Obviously, it's going to be a pretty long episode, so Caston and I guess, first and foremost towards the Juve game. As you've seen the league, in the Champions League, it's pretty close. Just been sorting out my starting 11 for today's game. It's a fairly strong side. Defensively, we are there. Glenn Stewart should be starting though, even though he's a little bit tired. Glenn Stewart right back. Benitez, Pablo in the centre. In fact, let's give a squad rundown. I don't think I've done one of these in a while, so it's kind of nice to keep you guys updated with who's in the team, what's happening. So yeah, we'll do that. So in goal we have Josimar. He's been a kind of standout player for us for a number of years now. This is his. Well, he'll have been at the club for 2 years come January. He's been a fantastic servant to the club. Came in for 10 million, but really has been kind of a rock in our goalkeeping position. At right back, Glenn Stewart, obviously a very loyal servant to the club himself. He came many a year ago, back when we were in the Blue Square Bet Prem, for £70,000. He's been a very good signing for us. He played centre-back for a number of years. However, as the squad's developed, he's found himself now on the wing, kind of playing the right-back position. Really talented centre-back. 25 years old, so still a number of years left in him. He is currently vice-captain as well as the club, and a player who I feel as if he'll just be at the club for his entire career, to be honest. The centre-back position, we currently have Jorge Benitez, 19-year-old Argentinian lad. Came in for £12 million, which was a very pricey transfer when he was just 17 years old. But since then, he really has bedded himself into the first team. The regular first-team football he's been getting has meant that he's been able to develop superbly. To combine that with kind of his half-decent determination of 12 and his all-round decent physicals and really strong defensive stats, and he really is a mighty player for us at the back. And then partnering him, we have his fellow South American comrade, Pablo here, centre-back, 3 appearances for Brazil's national squad for him. He's a really good player for us. His stats don't reflect how good he really has been for us over the years. There's actually a number of clubs interested in him, and it's going to be hard to turn them down if they come in with the kind of money I'm asking for. As you can see, I'm currently asking for £30 million. When you've got players like Chelsea and AC Milan who are interested, they could very easily offer £30 million, and it would certainly be something that I have to look at and maybe consider accepting, because at least to me, he isn't a £30 million player. He's a very good player, and him and Benitez have a fantastic understanding at the back, but you know, 30 million would be hard to turn down, I think. So be interesting to see how those 4 teams who are interested in him kind of pursue him in the coming months. At left back we have Farias, another South American player himself, another young Argentinian player, 32 youth caps. Unlike Benitez, he's not been able to find his way into the Brazil national side just yet, but he's a really solid left back. Interested in this guy as well, however, I'm very determined to keep hold of him, as there really is not many left backs kind of available and on the market that are to his incredibly high standards. At anchorman, kind of defensive mid, we have Sergej Semper, the guy with the beastie one heading. I mean, what more could you want from a guy? He's very much a Mikel Arteta kind of player, very strong defensively, and kind of able to ping out the ball. He's like Xabi Alonso's reincarnated brother, except he's not a regen. But no, this guy's actually in the regular game. He's in Barca's academy. I think he's been training with their first team like this season, and he's only like 17 in real life, so that's pretty crazy. But he's a fantastic little player for us. He's able to win the ball and then just ping it out to where it's needed up top, and he does a great job of doing that. At centre mid we have Courtois, just a real workhorse of a player, fantastic physical stats. I mean, look at his pace and acceleration, not many people keep up with this guy. Potentially a striker in the future. For a number of years I've been playing him in centre mid. He's probably the weakest, kind of the weak link in the side, you know. He might be a player who I perhaps look to replace in the future, and then maybe focus on training him to become a striker, who knows. Currently playing right centre mid we have Garfield Thompson, who's a really good defensive kind of unit at the back, 21 years old, and very much a potential replacement for Pablo if he was to go out for money. I don't think I'd actually maybe buy anyone in. I may be tempted just to stick Garfield Thompson in at centre back because this guy's just such a superb player. Doesn't have the mental attributes, but in terms of his aerial ability and defensive and physical dominance, he's just got the kind of whole package, and a player who could play centre back certainly for us, at least in my eyes. The main centre mid that we normally have, who currently isn't in the squad because he's suspended for 3 yellow cards in Europe, is Boccal. This guy came in for a club record transfer fee of £46 million last year. Really broke the bank to get him in. Sold a lot of kind of semi-first team players. Really took a gamble on this guy, and it certainly paid off last season. He's continuing to improve as a player. Still only 25. Kind of Brazil's first choice centre mid. Really gives you kind of an idea of how good he is. In 42 appearances for the club, he's averaging an average somewhere in the region of 7.5, which is pretty crazy across 2 seasons. And he's just the kind of the core of the team. Everything goes through him, and I am very, very happy with him as a player at the team. Here we have João José, young Brazilian player, 19 years old, certainly one for the future. Really, really hot prospect, this guy. There's not a lot more I can say. He's getting a lot of first team football. He's one of these players who comes in, he's a rotation option, very useful player to have, and currently really having a good run in the first team of late. He's performing well. 13 appearances this season, 26 last year. Gives you an idea of how good he's really been for us. Another one who I want to get embedding and playing first team football now for the team, because in playing first team football it'll help him develop as a footballer. And I mean, he's a fantastic understudy to our Brazilian counterparts who are also there in the final third, one of whom is Dzeko. Obviously he came in at the start of this year for £26 million, 14 appearances, 6 goals, 4 assists. Fantastic little signing for us, if I might say so myself. Really, this guy's superb. I can't tell you how good he's been for us. And then combining him with Barbosa, Barbosa's just an absolute monster now. He's been developing for a number of years. He was a player who, at the time of signing him, £15 million was a lot of money for a kind of the 17 or 18 year old he was. Took a massive punt on him, but it really has come good for us. And then usually Barbosa's playing on the right attacking mid, even though he's more of a striker with his stats. And then we have Dzeko playing on the left attacking mid, who's a kind of a right-footed, cut-inside kind of inside-forward winger. Really, really strong player, if I'm honest. Someone who I certainly believe is like a long-term kind of part of the plan at the club. A few more honourable mentions, because I'm not going to go through everyone, but we have Hamuche here, who's a good little anchor man. His 17 determination leads me to believe he could be a good player. However, he's been having a lot of problems with knee ligaments and stuff, so I'm really not sure if he's ever going to reach his potential at the team, which is a little bit disappointing, because when he came in I had high hopes. We also have Shane Barney, a long-term servant of the club, came in back when we were in League One on a free. This is now his 7th season at the club. Across that time he's made over 200 appearances. Absolutely crazy player, current captain of the side as well. Slowly being edged out the first team, but as kind of an English player, it's kind of important that I keep some English core to the club, or at least some British core, because although I have brought in a lot of kind of South Americans and stuff, I am now really trying to focus on getting some European talent in. I've kind of gone through that phase where you're a mid-table Premier League side who can only really attract the really good Brazilians, which you have to overpay for, and it's now that I need to start competing with the big guns, with Chelsea, with AC Milan, with Real Madrid for signings, and I've certainly done that with Reginaldo. Just a quick recap of Reginaldo, actually. He comes in soon. He's kind of the Shane Barney killer, I think. Comes in at the start of January, so just under a month away. He's one of Brazil's kind of first choice strikers, and combining him with Barbosa and Dzeko up top, going to be superb for us. And because he's coming from Brazil, he won't be cup tied, so he can play in the Champions League if we do make it to the knockout stage. Just one or two more players that I'll give you a really quick rundown of. We have Moyano here, player who's been at the club for a number of years from a young age. Currently training him to be a centre mid. His stats have really come on a lot in recent kind of years and recent seasons, particularly kind of since the start of this year. He's developed a lot. Not as much first team football as I'd like to get him. Obviously, last season he had 17 appearances. Season before that he had 11. Only one appearance this year. We kind of have a lot of players in the final third. Hoping once he trains as a centre mid, he'll be able to find a slot there in the club alongside Barbosa. Bocao. One or two more players that I'll give you a quick rundown of. We have Troy Warner here. Good little American lad. Got a little bit of potential, although he's not getting enough first team football to really reach it, but he's one of these players with his fantastic aerial ability who I can just stick up top and go hoofball to. Kind of the plan B option, a bit of an Andy Carroll, someone you can bring on off the bench and he's going to win you the ball. But unlike Andy Carroll, he does grab a goal or two. We also have Antonin Dvorak, who's a Czech Republic striker, very young player again, another one of these players in the final third who's really superb. Came in for 7.25 million at the start of January last season. Because of his age, because he's got so much potential, I am trying to play him in first team football, but it is difficult finding a slot for him. So I guess the main problem that I'm currently having with the squad is trying to fit the young players in. Obviously, youth has always been a feature of this kind of save, and I have always kind of turned to young players, and I like to bring up players from a very young age and, you know, get them playing first team football. The problem I've got is I've got so many attacking minded players, particularly in the final third, that it's difficult to find slots for them to rotate in and get everyone getting consistent first team football. I mean, we have Dvorak, Warner and Moyano and Barney, who are four players who can all play up top. Obviously, three of them can play midfield as well, but it's difficult to kind of slot everyone in and find space for them, I suppose, in the squad. But anyway, that's a quick little rundown. If there's any more players on this list you want to take a look at or you would like me to look at next episode, let me know down in the comments and I will certainly do that for you. My God, I can't get my words out today. Let's just go straight into this Juventus game. So, just a quick recap of the Group D quickly. You can see the league here. It's going to be tough stuff. I'll have the league loaded up during the game. We don't want to concentrate on the Galatasaray and Barcelona game, although a draw would be the ideal result. But it's going to be interesting to see how we get on here. So, pretty full strength squad. Bocao's probably the only real miss for us. Juve lining up pretty interestingly. They've got Marouane Fellaini and Asamoah there. Fellaini's now 35, so he's getting on a bit, losing his speed, but he's still got a little bit to offer pretty much everywhere else. Who else have they got here? Austin Rodriguez, he's a regen. He doesn't look anything too special. Asamoah, another good player. Again, the two centre mids who are fairly old, so I'm hoping that the pace of Courtois in the centre is really going to be able to outrun Asamoah and Fellaini and cause them some problems when he ploughs at their back three. Going to be interesting to see how that works out, I think. Obviously, with them going with two attacking mids, Sampa's got a big job here in winning the ball and I guess offering some support to Pablo and Benitez. Because they're going with lack of fullbacks, it's going to be important for Dzeko and João Jose to find some space on the line and kind of stretch the centre-backs wide and kind of release some space for Courtois and Garfield Thompson to break into. Tim Krul in goal there, I almost missed him. He's a decent player as well, always becomes a good keeper on FM. But anyway, let's get into today's game. I feel confident. Our shape, I believe, suits playing a team like Juventus. We'll get a good team talk going on. Okay, that didn't go well. That did not go well. I'm just going to go with calm. Pressure's off for you. Go out there and play your natural game. Midfield, I have the Faith Sons. I have the faith in you. Let's go. Barbosa up top. Huge game. Let me just pause it quickly and get the league table up so that you guys can see exactly what's happening in terms of the results and stuff, because it's always useful to have the latest scores and everything else loaded up. So Barcelona and Galatasaray is the game to keep an eye on. At the moment in the league, obviously, we start in second, but we are playing Juventus. So it's a really interesting scenario, to be honest, the way that this is all shaped up. Juve are pretty much already guaranteed to be that through to the knockout stage. We've won 1 and then drawn 4, which is kind of... It's left us in a very odd predicament in terms of how close the league table is. 3 points separating 4 teams across a Champions League group is pretty unheard of. So, as I said, it's going to be big on Sampa to really, I guess, handle the threat of the 2 attacking mids, and then us really trying to stretch them wide and then hit them on the counter. Juve breaking us down there. Is he given a penalty? Oh my god, ref. We give away so many penalties and we gain so many penalties, and yet I never seem to score one, and I've never seen the computer miss one against me. Here's hoping today it's different. It is different. Josimar, you monster. What a beast. Even the police are after him outside my bedroom window. They want him. Oh, that's a good start. A little bit of a confidence booster. Now, that was a warning. We need to defend this well here. Let's spread this wide ball in. Josimar again with the save. Superb stuff by him. He's looking really strong at the moment, which is great to see. Looks like we're really having to weather kind of a Juventus storm at the moment. Can we continue to do so and then maybe hit them on the counter? Josimar with the save. Have I got highlights on key or key? I have got them on key. They're just... Juve are playing well at the moment. They're creating chances. Can Courtois now use that pace that I was saying he had? That's what he needs to do. Pick up the ball, run at Fellaini. Give him something to worry about. And now we're spreading them wide. Their lack of fullbacks there, and Barbosa grabs the goal. Exactly what I talked about us doing. Courtois booked, which is a little bit concerning because he has got a habit of going mental and getting a red card. So here's hoping he doesn't get it today. But really good play there, stretching them wide. Then we outnumber them in the centre. You can really see that, the crowding outness. Obviously, they're playing free at the back, and then Fellaini and Asamoah are their kind of 2 CMs who are kind of 2 older players, so they don't quite have the pace that they once had. Got another chance here. João Jose buries it. 2-0. We are looking good here. Who would have thought that FC United and Manchester would be beating Juve 2-0? Pretty mental stuff. 2 shots, 2 goals for us. We've been clinical. Juventus have certainly created the better of the opportunities, it would have to be said, in terms of, I guess, the sheer amount. But we are having our fair share of the ball. And although we're not creating many chances, we've scored those that we've done. And can we hit them on the counter again? Kick it up. We'll go for the counter. Pace here. Good options, left and right. Dzeko with a little run. João Jose win. No, not going to win it. Oh, it's looking good. The game plan's working. Obviously, we've not created the sheer quantity, but we're certainly exploiting the flanks and then really ploughing at their centre mids. And Garfield Thompson with a chance there. Fellaini, I think it was, just not chasing him back again. Great finish. 3 shots, 3 goals. Pretty crazy stuff. We should be good now. In the Barcelona-Galatasaray game, it is still 0-0 also. So, at the moment, a draw would be enough for us. So unless Juventus pull off something absolutely crazy in the second half, we are looking very good. Really passionate stuff there. Let's just go passionate. You've been amazing. Keep it up, lads. I don't think much more needs to be said. I'm just going to up everyone's happiness even more. Why not? We're doing absolutely superbly at the moment. We are dominating this Juventus side. I guess in terms of just finishing and hitting them on the counter as well. We're doing it well. It's kind of the game plan, get the ball, pump it wide, let our pacey players, because we do have very athletic players, let them run at them, and another chance and another goal. 4-0. I don't even know what to say anymore. I've never seen this. 4 shots, 4 on target, 4 goals. Suppose it's the definition of clinical, but I can't really say that I don't think I've ever had an FM game like this before. I don't know. We're playing well, and at the moment we are above Juventus, which is very, very important. And in fact, a win would be enough to keep us above them. And the reason that win would be so important is simply because it would mean that we get a better seeding in the knockout stage, and theoretically we'd get an easier tie. Benitez has got injured, which is a little bit of a concern. Luckily for us, just kind of due to our squad depth and our very versatile midfield and such, we can do the changes that we need to do. Dzeko's looking injured, so I'm just going to do a three-way sub. Only 10 minutes left, so not a lot to lose really here. Give Zorak, the Czech Republic youngster, a chance to kind of spread his wings and give him a little run out for 10 minutes. Surely not one more. Nah, not going to happen. 4 shots, 4 goals is looking like it's how it's going to finish. Maybe Juventus are going to grab a consolation. No, they're not. Never mind, guys. Wow, that's insane. I can't quite explain what I've just bared witness to, but João Jose getting the man of the match. Well, 19 years old. I remember a certain Gareth Bale bursting onto the scene in the Champions League against an Italian side. Maybe this is João Jose's coming of age. He's been absolutely amazing for us, and that was superb. He's actually improved a lot as a player as well, as you can see there. And wow, pretty insane stuff for him. I'm going to go passionate. That was really special, lads. Superb stuff there. I was a little bit worried. Looking at it, Galatasaray and Barcelona did draw, so kind of a loss would have been enough for us that game. So to win it 4-0 is superb. João Jose grabbing a brace. Garfield Thompson and Barbosa are also getting on the score sheet. Insane stuff. Hopefully we can take that form into the Chelsea game, because now we have to look at the league. I mean, looking at the Premier League, we are first. Got a game in hand on Liverpool, but we've got this big tie against Chelsea. If we beat Chelsea, it's a big game and it would take us 5 points clear of them. If we lose, we drop behind them, and they have certainly kind of far better goal difference than us. So it's a little bit concerning, that, because it's the equivalent of them having a 2-point gap over us because they've scored. Well, they have a more positive goal difference by 13 goals. But anyway, that was really impressive stuff there by the guys. Very, very, very happy with that. What was Nene doing at the stadium? Where is he? Is he currently the Brazil manager? He is indeed, Nene, Brazil manager. Apparently he was casting his eyes over Josimar, Pablo Barbosa, João Jose and Dzeko. 5 Brazilians in our starting 11. Nene must be loving that. He must have loved that performance. I bet he's well happy he turned up. I don't know. What do you guys make of the fact that I have 5 Brazilians in the starting 11 and a lot of South Americans? I know it's kind of a little bit I honestly, I'd like to have English players and a bit more European players, but realistically I can't get them to come to my club. And the players that I have got kind of here are absolutely superb, and a lot of them have come to the club at a very young age and I've developed them. It's not like I've just kind of piked them from Brazil at the age of 22. Obviously Benitez came when he was 18, Barbosa came when he was 18, João Jose came when he was 18, Pablo came when he was 22, Josimar was 23, I believe, when he came. Very young players. They're not necessarily established in Europe. They've just had very good seasons in Brazil, and I've taken them on board and they're doing a job for us. But no, I'm very happy. Who's that? Barrett getting a new contract. I thought it said Benitez. I was like, I didn't offer Benitez a new contract. I don't know why I'm getting told that. No talent in Brazil. Well, that's tragic. Because I think it's because I've piked it all, to be honest, that my scouts can't find anyone. They're already at me. Also, when we have Reginaldo, that's going to be another Brazilian. I did look at some English players. In fact, if I go to my shortlist, I don't know if they'll still be here. We can find out. Oh, I've gone on the wrong tab because I'm a genius. If I go on shortlist and then nationality, as you can see, there's lots of players. But I have looked at English players. It's not like I've not looked at them. It's just that the really good English talent that I found is so expensive. This Tommy Benson guy I'd love to bring in, and a player who I may well try and get off Blackburn. But then you look at players like let me see if I can find one who let me put the age as is at least 21, and then I'll put nationality at English, just so you can see that I'm trying to bring in some English players. I went for Will Hughes. He ended up going to Fulham from Blackburn. Fulham from Blackburn, so I couldn't get Will Hughes in. I tried Jamal Lascelles, is it? I don't know. He plays for Nottingham Forest, I believe, in real life. Guess how much Norwich wanted for him? They wanted £26 million for him. Thanks, but no thanks. You're a Championship side, Norwich, and you're offering stupid money. I wonder where they are. They are pushing for promotion in the Championship. I was thinking if they're not pushing him, they don't get promoted, I might be able to get him in. His contract runs out in a year and a half, so if he doesn't sign a new deal, I might be able to get him in, but he's going to be a bit old. That's the other thing. It's a tough one. I honestly, I'm looking at English players, but I'm kind of very limited to the English players I can bring in, because the majority of the best English talent plays for the likes of Chelsea, Man U, Man City, Liverpool, teams that I simply can't attract players from, and it's not realistic. And obviously it's been a problem that I've had for a very long time, and I have touched on it again and again and again. I want to get English talent in, but at the same time it's just not realistic and not financially viable when I can bring in the likes of Boccal for 46 million. I mean, there aren't any English players I could ever attract that good. I mean, we're talking the best players in England for that much. B. Bent becomes Wigan's youngest ever goal scorer. See, I am scouting players and stuff. I'm really hunting down the best English regions, but I'm not finding anyone. But anyway, let's stop going on about regions, Jack, because you've got a big tie today. Why am I talking in the third person? I don't even know. Today we are playing against, what's a fairly strong Chelsea side. I've got a near enough strongest possible starting 11, which is good to see. I'm just going to sort out my bench. Do you guys do this? Sort out your bench so that it's kind of in positional order, if that makes sense. It's a really weird habit that I have. I guess I'm weird anyway. I'm going to swap João Jose and Barbosa around. I want to give him a run up front, João Jose. Obviously, he had a superb kind of game on the wing, and I want to see how well he can carry that forward. Just looking at the condition of some players, they are struggling a little, but why have I put Moyano at right back? I was meant to put Musavi there. A few players struggling for kind of condition-wise. Dzeko's certainly one. So's Benitez and so's Semper. But at the same time, I can't afford not to play them against Chelsea, and I can probably rotate them. And I have got a game against Man U and a game against Liverpool coming up, which is going to be next episode. Oh, one more thing that I actually forgot to mention, which you've probably just seen. I'll cover it afterwards. But I have Messi as a fitness coach, because why not? Why not get Lionel Messi to teach your players how to keep fit? Makes perfect sense. Anywho, let's get straight into today's game. Chelsea lining up fairly attackingly, as I kind of expect. They've got some very good players on either wing. It's going to be up to us to shut them down and really play well. Is that Hazard there with a chance? Good tackle by Musavi. Musavi's currently playing in place of Glenn Stewart. I mean, Musavi's been here since we were in the Championship. He's a very good player. Certainly someone who I have complete faith in to do well for us, and hopefully he can defend well this game. Good header away. A little bit concerning to see Chelsea getting a corner after 30 seconds, but we've done okay there. Chance here for Chelsea. We will get it off the line, having hit the post. It's important to remember we are at Stamford Bridge. We are top of the league, however we've not played kind of the teams around us yet. Man U, Chelsea and Liverpool are kind of some of the high performing teams in the league. We're almost coming up to the halfway mark, which is, I mean, to be top at this stage is ridiculous. I would be content with another top 3 finish. Last year we achieved that. I didn't really add too much strength to the squad this year, because I feel as if I've got enough kind of young players whereby the current players I have I can train and develop without having to spend millions on players. Obviously I brought in Dzeko for 26 million, but in the grand scheme of things, obviously I spent 30 million and sold a few players, but I've certainly spent more money in the past. Anyway, it looks like we've got a chance here. João Jose, the pacey Brazilian target man, giving away the ball there a little bit cheaply. I'm kind of curious to see how he plays up front. Obviously, him and Barbosa have switched today. He played on the wing against Juventus, and they've got a chance here, and they will finish it. Very disappointing defending by us. Held a high line, ball came floating in over the top, and the Chelsea forward was there just to bury it in. Benitez trying to nod it back to Josimar then, but just not getting enough on the header, and from there, we're in a very, very dire situation. So that does make it 1-0 to Chelsea. I think I said that we were playing at Stamford Bridge. I should point out that I think Chelsea have a new stadium, so they're not playing at Stamford Bridge at all. And speaking of stadiums, I still don't have a stadium. Still no stadium, guys. One day it'll come. One day I will build myself an FC United a stadium, and we won't have to share Gig Lane with Bury. I promise you. It's in my plans. I do believe. Looking good at the moment though. You know, I'm going to make some aggressive changes. The game's been pretty 50-50 and bogged down in midfield. I should maybe expect somewhat a little bit tentative. Maybe we can build something from the back here. It's certainly something that we've done with this team. And Bokal gets absolutely nailed from behind by Guano. Yeah, we'll get with Guano. What a name. Excuse me. Not used to talking for this long. It's been a pretty long episode, guys. I think I asked a while ago what you thought. Oh god, defend. Phew. Should have been a goal, but Hazard missed it. I was about to say, I asked a while ago what you thought the ideal length for an episode was, and the general idea, kind of consensus was, I think the ideal length is, and I can't remember what it was now. I think it was like 15 to 25 minutes. I'm kind of curious, guys. How long do you watch my videos for? Like, do you watch them all the way through? Obviously, if you're watching up until this point, you've watched to this point. Maybe leave a comment about balloons if you watch to this point. I don't know why I'm saying this mid-game, but I'm kind of curious how late people watch into the game for, kind of into the episodes for, and how long you spend watching the episodes, and what you consider to be the ideal length. Because, I don't know, with episodes I kind of just go with the flow at the moment, but I am curious, are my episodes too long? Would you like more longer episodes? Let me know. Oh, Benitez, you're getting sent off. Damn it! You stupid boy. You stupid idiot. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. He is a boy, though. He is a youngster. Right, how are we going to shape for this? That's the question. Oh, actually, that works. We'll just go with... We'll play with one defensive. I don't know. I need to go for the win. That's the thing. It's 8 minutes to go for the win. Let me just change team tactics as well. Little creative freedom. Sorry. More direct and quicker. Confirm. We've got to kind of roll the dice here. 8 minutes left. Going with a 4-4-1, but very attacking kind of minded in terms of how the midfielders want to play. Really trying to grab that late goal. I don't think it's going to happen with a minute left on the clock, but you never know. Looks like Chelsea are going to edge out this tight affair. This will see them go top of the league, which is a little bit saddening to see. After our good start, you know, it's going to be the first time we're not top of the league in quite a long time. We've got some more tough kind of league games against Liverpool and Man U coming up as well, which are going to be tough to contest with. And now I'm really hoping that we can just maintain the kind of performance level that we had against teams like Juventus, because obviously before that we were really struggling. We have a chance here. João Jose, I thought he was about to make a dream impact. That's it. It could be a crucial win there, as the commentators just said. 1-0 to Chelsea. Farias did get man of the match. I'm just going to go with Calm. You were unlucky today. I do feel like we were a little bit unlucky. Looking at the stats, tight affair, and that sees us really slip down the table. We have got games in hand on a few teams around us. It is noting that Man U, who are 3 points behind us, have a game in hand on us as well. So it's really tight at the top of the league coming into the halfway mark. I think next episode will be the Man U and the Liverpool games. Between that, I have just got the one Derby County game to contend with. It's going to be interesting stuff, you know. Looking at the league, it's ridiculously close now I look at it. You've got kind of the top 4 separated by, 2 points. And if Man U win their game in hand, it'd be the top 4 separated by, top 5 separated by 2 points, which is absolutely crazy. Don't think I've seen many Premier League kind of leagues go this tight, this far in. Usually you have 1 or 2 teams that kind of pull away. Disappointing by Benitez though to see him get sent off. He's a player who hasn't had that many sendings off across his career, so a little bit sad to see. Hopefully that won't kind of have too big an impact, because it was 2 yellows. I believe it's only a 1-match ban. It is. I think Dzeko's also got a 1-match ban. He has indeed. So at least they're only missing the Derby County game, I suppose. So as I said, next episode, Man U Liverpool game. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Pretty decent episode. Obviously that 1-0 defeat disappointing, but 4-0 emphatic victory against Juve was certainly a nice way to start it off. As always, if you could give the video a like, leave a comment about balloons down below, and other than that, I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.